Okay, hello everyone. Okay, let's continue with the Master Ling Yo story.
创立这个唯养派，就是唯养宗。那么这个赞呢，是这么样说的。
And created Weiyang school, that's Weiyang lineage, then this praise said such.
梯岛净平，尾山浪起，水苦横绵，绿杨阴里。
Down the pure ways, waves rising at Wei Mountain, water buffalo sleeping horizontally in green willow shade.
非计非闲，随为所以，一指横出，春风桃李。
Not still, not leisurely. Who was responsible? One branch struck out horizontally, peach and plum flower blooming in the spring breeze.
这样讲的。这是这个赞呢，你们看看那个佛祖道影录上有了。
Said this. This is this praise. You see that Buddha and Patriarch's Wei image collection have this.
讲不讲都没有什么重要。
Whether to talk about it or not is not important. Uh-oh. How did it get out? How did it get out? Present.
那么现在讲一讲呢，他到这个大尾山的这个经过。
Now let's talk about his experience going to this great Wei Mountain.
这个百丈禅师叫他去大尾山那儿去做方丈，那连一个茅棚都没有。
This great Chan master Bai Zhang told him to go to Great Wei Mountain to be abbot. There was not even a thatched hut there.
不是说造好了庙啊，给他预备好了，叫他去做方丈，不是的，就叫他自己呀。
It's not an already built temple prepared for him and told him to be abbot. Not like that.
到那地方去造去，你造好了你就做方丈，你造不好就不要做。
Told him to go there by himself to build. If you can build it, then be abbot. If you cannot build it, then don't do it.
不是师傅给预备现成的，完了徒弟到那儿等着做现成的方丈，不是的。
The temple is not prepared and already built by master, where the disciple will go and be abbot. It's not like that.
然后他，听这个百丈禅师的命令啊。 就到这个，先到湖南长沙。
Heard this Chan master Bai Zhang's order, then first went to Hunan, Changsha.
以后就到这个大尾山，大尾山一看，这个地方是不错的，但是离这城市很远很远的。
Later, arrived at this Great Way Mountain, took a look at the Great Way Mountain. This place is pretty good, but is very, very far away from the city.
那就没有人到，很少人到。在所到的人呢，都是打猎的人。
No people go there at all. Very few people go there. Only hunters go there. Chan Master Lin Yu came to this mountain, spent days with the apes. Completely depending on picking up oak chestnuts to ease hunger, life was extremely difficult. Lived like this for 4 to 7 years, not even one person came up to the mountain. Chan Master Lin Yu said to himself, my intention of drilling and supporting here is to benefit sentient beings. Now that there is no contact with sentient beings, what good is in benefiting myself only? Thus, he wanted to give up this mountain and go to other places. When he walked down the mountain to the mountain pass, on the road, just saw snakes, tigers, crisscross, and packs of jackals and wolves blocked his way out to get down the mountain. Chan Master Lin Yu said, you various beasts do not need to block my way. If I have conditions with this mountain, you should leave on your own. If I don't have conditions with this mountain, you don't need to move. I will pass by here and you can eat me all you want. As soon as he finished speaking, all insects and tigers scattered and left. Thus, Chan Master Lin Yu returned to the little hut he originally drilled and continued to wait for causes and conditions to mature. Like this, lived for less than a year, monk Lan An led a few monks from Baizhang mountain to assist Chan Master Lin Yu. Monk Lan An said to Chan Master Lin Yu, I came to be monks, your kitchen manager. Wait till there are 500 monks drilling here, no matter what. I won't make porridge anymore. Please allow me to leave. Chan Master Lin Yu agreed. Now there's tape.
咱们这个山上呢，就是这个野兽的一个家庭，这个野兽都在这个山上住。
Then on this mountain, this is animal family. These animals all live on this mountain.
狼虫虎豹什么都有。
Wolves, insects, tigers, jackals, there are all kinds.
最多的是什么呢？猴子。最多的猴子。
What's the most? Monkeys. The most is monkeys.
那么他就到这个山里头找一个很好的地方，就坐那地方就打坐。
Then he went inside the mountain, found a very good place, sat there and meditated.
他说很奇怪，这猴子就给他送东西来吃，猴子来供养他。
Meditating, it was very strange. These monkeys delivered him food to eat. The monkeys were making offerings to him.
啊，这个送一个桃，那个送个栗子，那个总而言之送这个能吃的东西给他送来。
This one delivered a peach. That one delivered a lychee. All in all, food that can be eaten would be delivered to him.
俺们有10几个这猴子天天来供养他，那么10几个给送东西来，他也够吃了。所以在这儿，
There were over 10 monkeys offering him every day. Then over 10 were delivering food. He had enough to eat.
很好玩的，和这个猴子在一起。于是乎啊，他就收了10几个这猴子的徒弟。
It was found there with these monkeys. Thus he accepted over 10 monkey disciples.
啊，给他们说三皈啊，这10几个猴子。 你来伺候师傅，明天他来伺候师傅，这么轮着，来供养这个师傅。
To them about 3 refugees. This over 10 monkeys also behaved very well. Every day took turns to guard him, to serve master. Tomorrow he come to serve master. Like this, they took turns to offer master. Everybody was very sincere.
很诚心的，因为那地方人很少的。人很少的，以后过了有1个礼拜的样子啊，那个打猎的看见他了。
Because that place has very little people, very little people. After about a week, oh, those hunters saw him.
打猎看见他，大家一看，这猴子都来供养这个法师。
Hunters saw him. Everybody took a look. Even these monkeys came to offer to this Dharma master.
他们也就发了心了，所以大家凑一点钱，就给他造了一个小茅棚。
They also brought forth an offering mine. So everybody put a little money together and built a little thatched hut.
造了小茅棚啊，在这地方他就休息。
After the little thatched hut was built, he cultivated at this place.
修行呢，这个消息就传到做官的人就知道了，猴子都供养这个老修行。
He cultivated. Then this news spread to the officials. Then they knew even monkeys were making offering to this old cultivator.
这已经是很有道德的了，啊，那个野兽都不咬它，老虎也不咬它，啊，这有猴子给他做徒弟。
This person must be very virtuous. Wild animals do not bite him. Tigers do not bite him. monkeys are his disciples.
这样子呢，就有一个在这个湖北、湖南呢，这个做官的，听说这件事就去看他，去看。
Like this, there was an official from Hunan heard about this and went to visit him.
果然不错，有这个猴子在这给他看门口啊，来给他当值啊。
Visiting him, it was good as expected. There was this monkey here to guard the door for him, to be on duty for him.
什么样子服侍这个老修行啊？他一看也就发心了，说好，那你应该造个庙。
It served this old cultivator like this. He took a look and also brought forth the offering mine, said, "Okay, you should build a temple."
造个庙，等我这个和这个裴丞相讲一讲。这个做官的叫李景让。
Build a temple. Wait for me to talk to this Prime Minister Pei. This official's name was Li Jingrang.
我和裴丞相是很信佛的，我去和他讲一讲，叫他来帮你造个庙。
Prime Minister Pei believes in Buddhism very much. I will go talk to him, tell him to help you build a temple.
裴丞相这个裴修啊，一听说有这么奇怪的事情。
Then Prime Minister Pei, this Pei Xiu, once he heard this very strange thing.
这野兽都归三宝，于是乎就来看他，他一个小茅棚也没有地方住。
Those wild animals also took 3 refugees. Thus he went to visit him, but in his little thatched hut had nothing to sit on.
说好了，我给你300两银子，你造个庙。
Said, "Okay, I give you 300 tills silver. You go build a temple."
于是乎把300两银子就放到他那个茅棚外边那个草里头。
Thus he put 300 tills silver in the grass outside of that thatched hut.
回去他因为裴丞相也很忙的，过了3年，又回来看他那个庙造的怎么样呢？
After that, he went back because the Prime Minister Pei was also very busy. After 3 years, he came back to see how the temple was built.
当时300两银子，等于现在甚至于土里庙银这么多钱，可以说。
At that time, I can even say that 300 tills silver equals to $3 million, that much money.
因为那时候钱没有这么没有这么不值钱，那时候1两银子就能做很多的事情。
Because at that time, money was not that worthless like now. At that time, 1 ounce of silver can do many things.
所以呢，过了3年，这个裴丞相又回来看。
So after 3 years, this Prime Minister Pei came back to have a look.
还是这个小茅棚，这300两银子它干什么用呢？
Still this little thatched hut. What did he do with the 300 tills silver?
很奇怪，就说，哎，我叫你造庙，给你300两银子，你怎么不造庙呢？
Very strange. He then said, I told you to build a temple. I give you 300 tills silver. Why didn't you build a temple?
你这300两银子干什么用了？
What did you do with this 300 tills silver?
这灵佑禅师说，你给我300两银子，你放到什么地方呢？
Chan Master Ling You said, You give me 300 tills silver. Where did you put it?
我放在你的茅棚外边的草里，你到那个草里去找去嘛。
I put it in that grass outside your thatched hut. Then go look for it in the grass.
他一看，他草里一看，300两银还在那个地方，也没有人动它。这真是老修行。
He went to have a look in the grass. The 300 tills silver was still there. Nobody touched it. Oh, this is really an old cultivator.
于是乎他就发心给灵佑禅师造庙，造了一个同庆寺。
Thus, he brought forth the mind to build a temple for Chan Master Ling You. Built the Tongqing Temple.
皇帝批准的，在那造个庙，造个同庆寺一样。
The emperor authorized to build a temple there, built the Tongqing Temple.
裴丞相，往生了之后，又有个崔丞相，也是很相信这个灵佑禅师。
Later, after Prime Minister Pei passed away, there was a Prime Minister Cui. He also believed in this Chan Master Ling You very much.
Okay, so stop here. So Master Ling You went on his own to Mount Wei Mountain, as ordered by Chan Master Bai Chang, his teacher. So he went there by himself. So no food, nothing, and so because it's very remote, along the way he had to eat whatever he could find from the trees, bitter nuts from on the trees, and that's what he did have to do to survive on the travel. He got there. It's a very steep mountain and very deserted. No one comes up there. So what did he do? He sat down and meditated. That's it. Never ask anyone for help. Never worry about sustaining himself. So you see, the mindset hasn't changed, didn't change from the time where he kicked the pure vase, okay, as part of the answer to Master Bai Chang, to the day he gets to Wei Mountain and by himself, never asked for help, never asked for anything. He basically followed the order, and in our lineage, 随缘不变，不变随缘. Okay, accord with conditions, doesn't change. If conditions were not appropriate, where there's no food, okay, then no one offers him food, no one cooked for him, then he picked up food along the way, whatever he could find to sustain himself. 不变, 随缘, that's according with conditions. And 不变 is that he just never changed his resolve. He's supposed to do what he was ordered to do. And then next line in our that Master Shewa taught us is 不变随缘. You don't change, yet accord with conditions. 不变随缘 describe him exactly. That is the state of a bodhisattva, okay, who is not affected by external conditions. Whether support or not, he doesn't matter. He will go do what his teacher asked him to do. Normally nowadays we sitting there and calculating and say, it doesn't make sense for me to go because there's nothing for me to do there. Okay, so you see, this is a simple act of faith. If his master says you go there, you're supposed to go there and teach pupils, then that's what he does. He doesn't ask how, doesn't ask why, he doesn't ask why me. Okay? So, here's a man, his story so far shows that he's not interested in externals at all. Whether it's food or not, he'll do whatever he does to meditate. If the monkeys offered food to him, then he'll eat. Okay? And so, this is the nature of your blessings, of a cultivator's blessings. If you cultivate and you have the blessings, things will be taken care of for you. You don't have the blessings, it's no point in trying to steal or scheme or plan or analyze. That's the difference between spiritual cultivation versus worldly calculations, worldly undertakings. Worldly undertakings is logical, is planned, whereas spiritual work is 随缘, you accord with conditions. Whatever we can do, we do. We don't ask for anything. And that's why it took him quite many years. At first, the first 6-7 years, no one came, so what did he do? He meditated. Didn't go around and plant trees or plant vegetables to eat, okay? Because that would be a waste of time. He didn't come there, he didn't go there in order to plant vegetables. Okay? You see that? The purity of this monk is so remarkable. You will not find that kind of level of purity from monks later on. Because as we have more and more support, then that's a lot easier for the later generations to practice, and they get plenty of support. But this monk here, he had zero support, and he just went. And if he dies, he dies. And that's the spirit of our lineage. In fact, the one that really impresses me about this monk here as well is that he actually didn't establish the Wei Yang lineage. It's his pupil, Yang Shan, that established the lineage, the school, and called it Wei Yang in honor of his teacher. So that's even the kind of purity this monk here. Why didn't he even try to establish a school? It shows the purity. It's nothing to teach. Okay, he's there. And if living beings come, he would help. Living being, no one came, then he just meditated. That's called purity. My late Chinese master, Master YongHua, he came here and he sought to propagate Mahayana. So the level of purity is not the same as the founder of our school. Our school simply obeyed his teacher. Okay? And the teacher says, go over there and help living beings. That's all. That is what's remarkable about this monk here, eminent monk, is this level of purity is so rare. People had to come and bring things to him, offer things to him. He never asked for anything, including anything from the monkeys. And here we are. We have everything. We have churches, we have cars, we have food, we have clothing, we have money. That's the kind of level of support we have right now. He had nothing whatsoever for years. And now we have everything. And it's still not enough for us. What is wrong with us? You know, we have so much already, and if it need be, we call someone. You know, I'm thinking of doing something. I need money. Will you support me? That's not way out, children. You don't drop hints. You don't ask. If it's there, we do it. If it's not there, we don't do it. You don't seek recognition. You don't try to impress people. Did he do anything to impress people? To distinguish himself? No. It's just people decided that he's a virtuous monk, and it makes sense because this level of purity is really so rare to see in a monk. That's a Wei Yang school right there. If you think you're Wei Yang, we should follow this level of purity. It's so pure to the point where what school? I wasn't told to establish a school. What I know here is nothing to teach. I'm here because Prime Minister Peishio came, and Peishio, back then, Prime Minister Pei was a devout Buddhist. He supported another Chan master, famous Chan master, so his disciple, and he would promote him. Okay, so but in general he would help the other Buddhist masters. When he heard about, and please don't call him Zen. Oh God, Chan is anything but Zen. Okay, and Zen is Japanese. Chan is pure Chinese. This Chan master, so he came and talked to him and was impressed enough to give him some money to build a temple. He said, here, some money, build a temple. Can you talk to a monk like that? Even if you are a prime minister? Know who you are. What did Master Ling Yo do? Nothing. It's a wrong condition for him to accept an offering to build a temple. You don't say, you don't talk to me like that. I'm above this. No. He simply never looked at it because it's an improper offering. You don't touch it. And please, children, remember that. Don't ever ask for anything. That's not us. We'd rather die of hunger, of thirst, of cold, of poverty than ask for anything or scheme for anything. That's the kind of purity our forefather set the standards for us. You think we take it very lightly to say that we are practicing Wei Yang? We're practicing Wei Yang because we aspire to reach a level of purity of this man here, this great Chinese man here set for us. It's not for the Chinese. It's for everyone who says, I am a disciple of Wei Yang lineage, then this is the standards we need to adhere to. And that's going to happen. If you adhere to the standards, look at his life story, have faith, and he'll get to do what he's ordered to do, because people will naturally come and support him. You don't need to scheme. You don't need to drop hints. You don't need to to invest in stock market. And I must admit to you, I love this, to hear this story when I first heard about it years ago, okay, at the CDTB during those chanchis. It stuck in my mind. Didn't understand much of it. It stuck in my mind that a man, because we're this modern era where we get cars to drive, bank accounts, bitcoins, MasterCards, plastic cards. Okay, and we have so much. We have so much support. We have so much infrastructure. This guy has nothing whatsoever. This monk has zero. So he meditated, and people had to come and gave him the conditions to teach, to help others. He wasn't even though he was ordered to go help others, he didn't go around and say, you are Master Bai Chang, right? You are a Buddhist disciple, right? I'm a Buddhist monk. Will you support me? That's what people do nowadays. It's okay. That's how how they build big temples and stuff like that. That's okay, it works for them, not for us. Okay? What if nothing happened? Nothing. No one came to support him. Even Master Bai Chang later had to send a few his disciples to go over to prepare him to teach. So it shows right there that he passed the test. Master Bai Chang sent him over there and see what he's going to do. Is he going to panic? Is he going to compromise himself and say, I'm going to fail my master's order if I don't make it happen? Would that still be okay? That would still be okay. But you know what? Then the Weiyang school is not as great as it could be. We hear the story, we should be proud of it. That's his name, Weiyang, came from the sacrifices and from the purity of these great monks. So don't be afraid of hardships. You cannot possibly imagine how tough it was for Master Ling Yo, Wei Shan Master, to travel long distances, to go to a place that's dangerous. Wild beasts, poisonous insects, snakes, no heat. Do we say anything here where they actually picked up firewood to build fire? We don't even know here. It's not even mentioned. Why he was there by himself. You think he had like a REI store nearby where you can go and buy some warm clothes? It's an incredible story. That's what I remember. That's what impressed me. Not the city 10,000 Buddhas or their disciples and so forth. I'm impressed that somehow this Chinese master from China came here and was a patriarch of the Weiyang lineage. And this is how it started. It's founded by this kind of person. That sets the standards for us to reach, to measure ourselves against. And here we are, scheming for benefits, for advantages, for comfort, for recognition. All right, continue, please.
Ah, 帮着他弘扬佛法的人。 特别恭敬这位这个禅师。
He helped him propagate the Buddha Dharma. Very respectful to this Chan master.
You see, when he was alive, Master Lingyo, later known as Wei Shan, Master Mountain, Wei Mountain Master, he's not many people knew about him, and so he passed away relatively unknown, and that's the price of purity. Very people understand it. Okay. He takes so his job is to train. What is it? His boss said you're supposed to train 1,500 disciples, so he taught 1,500 disciples. That's what he did. Beautiful level of purity, level of accuracy, and humility of this person. It's incredible. And that's why we're so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. That he taught us, he showed us the kind of practice, the standards for our practice. Like even when my master formulated that in the 6 principles and the thing we recite every night, it's beautiful. It's ingenious. It's still nowhere near the level of purity of this Master Lingyo manifested in his lifetime. So you want your generation should set your standards at the level of this master, not mine, not Master YongHua's level. We are impure compared to his. Right? Okay, question from the Far East.
Jewel Mountain asks, some new students need hand-holding. So if I call to check on this type of new student to help because I feel that this person will not be able to come to benefit from Dharma, is it impure?
I'm sorry, what is the question again? Couldn't hear the question.
Question is, some new student needs hand-holding. So if I call to check on this type of new student to help because I feel that this person would not be able to come to benefit from Dharma, is it impure?
What is your motive? Are you seeking to, what is your motive for calling someone? Did they ask you to call? It depends on your motives. Master, is this kind of difficult to talk back and forth, but Master Lingyo's standard is that he basically helped people the best way he could, but he wasn't seeking, trying to scheme or manipulate or steal or impress at all. He's just trying to help the best way he could. Okay? And then the purity, what I'm referring to, is the purity of lack of ulterior motives, the lack of seeking to gain benefits, the lack of fear of loss. This is the problem with grown-ups. You get older and older, you start accruing things. You put away in your garage, in your attic. And then you end up becoming fearful, losing the things you have. So purity pertains to your mind, you know. Okay? And you help people without any ulterior motives. You help people because it's the right time to help. Then that's our Wei-Yang style. All right.
等到这个大中的癸酉这一年正月初9日，这位禅师啊，就向大家告假了。
Until 853, lunar January 9th, this Chan master told everybody about his taking a leave.
有的徒弟呀，就讲，说是啊，我今天要走了，和你们大家say goodbye 了。
He told all his disciples, I'm leaving today. I'm saying goodbye to all of you.
说完了这话，就漱漱口，洗面，就是沐浴一下，然后就是解双降伏坐，坐那把眼睛闭上，告诉你完了。
After said that, he washed his mouth and face, took a shower, then sat in full lotus, sat there, closed his eyes, and went to nirvana.
所以这个禅师呢，以后就创立的这一派为养派。
This Chan master later established this, our lineage, Wei-Yang lineage.
You see that? It's I believe that it's Yang Shan, his number one disciple, who established Wei-Yang school. Master Wei Shan never tried to establish any school. That's another form of purity. What is there to teach? He has to go to the second generation, his disciple, who says, what my master's style of teaching is so extraordinary that we need to have a name, and so that people can have a model of how to practice. Okay, but the original teacher never felt there's nothing worth teaching. That's another form of purity as well. This monk is incredible. I asked the Chinese people, do we have any materials on the Yangshan? Do we have much materials on the Yangshan, his successor, or not? I hope we don't. You know why not? Because Yangshan should have picked up this kind of level of purity from his teacher. So for him to establish a Wei-Yang school is in honor and in gratitude for his teacher. and the contribution of his teacher made for the Chinese Chan school in China. So it's out of reverence and gratitude, and the mind of the desire to try to benefit more people. Okay, so he did it in order to honor his teacher and to help the later generations, not to promote himself. So I hope we have nothing on Yangshan at all. Because otherwise, Yangshan is seeking fame. Yangshan, if Yangshan did anything at all to promote himself, then he's, there's this part there where there's always a possibility that in the back of his mind he's seeking to benefit from this fantastic level of excellence set by his teacher. And so he can attach his name to it. You see that? When you call yourself Wei Yang, I would have called it Wei School. I would have called it Wei Yang School. So that's why if you call Wei Yang School, then you should have nothing at all about yourself. So Chinese people, please help me out. Look up some information on Yangshan materials and study from him so that I see what kind of purity that Yangshan retained from his training from Master Wei Shan. And now I'm curious. This is incredible. The lack of itself. Master YongHua, people were so devoted to him because he said, this monk here does nothing at all for himself. He washes his own clothes, sews his own clothes, and never sought anything, even forbid his disciple to build a temple under his name or and so forth. Okay, he refused. Okay, forbid them to do that. Name a temple, build monuments on his behalf, in his honor. That's Master YongHua. Okay, but that level of selflessness is still pales in comparison to the level of selflessness of Master Lin Yu, Master Wei Shan, Wei Ma Wu. That's how incredibly high the standards that our original founder set for himself. So that's why I'm curious as to what happened in the second generation. How much did the second generation preserve from the original first generation, the Wei Yang lineage? All right. Questions or comments? Yes.
It doesn't seem Master Yangshan established the Wei Yang lineage either. It's after they have passed away, the people from afterwards that recognize the lineage as Wei Yang lineage to honor both masters.
Oh, this is fantastic. That makes sense to me, because I'd be disappointed that Yangshan will establish a lineage. Why would it be a disappointment if Yangshan established Wei Yang lineage? Why? Orange.
Because he put his name on it.
Okay, put his name on it. Who else? I would be, yeah. I'm so glad to hear that. We need to look up the Yang Shan's teachings then. It's great that he did not establish a school, okay, because then he understood his teachers' teachings. You show your reverence of your teachers' teachings by how? Doing what he does. If my teacher did not establish a school, I don't establish a school. That shows that I understand his teachings. It's nothing to establish. It's nothing to teach. So later, that's when the later generations call it Wei Yang. It's kind of interesting. It's meaning that Master Yang Shan added something to the Wei Shan's teaching. That's why it has to be called Wei Yang. That's why we should investigate Master Yang Shan life story and teachings as well. Okay? Because the later generation recognized the wisdom of the combined teachings. And even though Yang Shan added his teachings to Master Wei Shan, he never said, "This is my teaching." That means he completely understands his teacher's teachings. It's fantastic. 2 generations, the purity of 2 generations, that's how strong it was. YouTube comment, go ahead.
We have a comment from Jewel Mountain. Jewel Mountain says, it seems like Yangshan record books exist according to the Korean language research, but need to do further research.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? This teacher here, yes, go ahead, Pink.
Yangshan Huiji, Master Huiji, the story is extraordinary too. So I think it's worthy a lecture.
Thank you. Get me the text, okay? Get me the text and get a translation, because my Chinese, that would take me a year to try to understand it, stroke by stroke. It's fantastic. You know, it's these great teachers came to our world in order, and taught by example, in order for us to gauge our level of excellence. From their own life experiences. All right, great. Anything else? Yes, Pink.
That's is mainly to do with meditation in the Buddha Hall. Is it?
Back to reality, yes.
Yes.
We're up here in the clouds. Now back to the Chanti. Oh God.
Okay. During
What a
Chanchi,
deflating experience. We were amongst the best of the best. And we're back to the best of the worst. Yes, go ahead.
if Master, you are sitting there meditating in the Buddha Hall, when we come in, should we bow or we skip the bow?
Oh, during when the Chan tradition is you never bow to a person who's meditating. Never. Okay? In a Chan hall, you come in, you wish you can bow 3 bows to the triple jewel, and you meditate. That's it. And you don't make noises. If you need to listen to anything, you put on an earphone, okay, or your Bluetooth earbuds, okay? But you don't make noises, because when you make noises, you avoid creating offenses like that, because it afflicts people, and it's very serious offense. You don't know how serious this is. The Chan Qi, let me remind you, every year that we organize a Chan Qi, we have so many problems before, during, and after. We, organizers, have all kinds of problems. And I also know that for many of you, have a lot of personal problems as well, trying to come here, from your wife, from your husbands, from your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you name it. Yes? It's actually, if you pay attention, it's a lot more intense, a lot more severe than normal. Okay? So to organize a Chan Qi is like asking for a beating. You go to a Chan Qi, you're asking for trouble yourself. Okay? So that's why a Chan Qi truly is the place where we choose future Buddhas. It's very difficult to come here. Okay, so that's why, even though we take a beating every year, even though, you know, we lose students because the Americans are very, very impatient. They have this habit of coming to temples. And then if you don't allow them to come to the temples for 2 or 3 months, they say, I'm out of here. They don't respect me at all. So every year for us, not only we take a beating during, before, and after, because of the cheese, and after that, the temple is so vacant, you know, just like as if there's a pandemic. So we would need like a few months to rebuild it. And then people now get used to coming to the temple again. And then we lose it again during the summer cheese. How is that? How stupid can you be? Really, we are a glutton for punishments. It's really nonsense. But someone has to do it. All right. Great. Yes, Pink.
Master, yesterday there was a question from YouTube from Korea.
Yes.
And this person had a question. The question is, what is the good guidance for one seeking Dharma?
Okay. From what I learned about Mahayana, okay, the first thing I learned, actually second thing I learned from a late Chinese master, if you want to learn Mahayana, want to learn Chan, learn Pure Land, you look for a good no advisor. A good no advisor is a Chinese term which means that enlightened teacher. Bottom line is enlightened teacher. Meaning, you look for a teacher. Okay? After my master died, somehow I got lucky. I found an enlightened teacher, Master YongHua. And then so I said, wow, great, let's go learn Chan for this fantastic Chan monk. Okay? And he died. After I gave up everything, he died. And so I said, oh my God, this is not good. So I said, but because he taught me that, if I want to learn, I'm going to look for good no advisor. So I started looking for good no advisor at his disciples. The disciples didn't work out. So I went from person to person to person to person to person to person. I kept on looking and looking and looking. Today I'm still looking. That's how I cultivate. I never assume that I know what I'm doing. I'm looking for a good advisor myself. And I assure you, if I find a good one, I'm out of here. You can bet your life on that. The first thing I do is find a good advisor. Weight mountain is your disposal. I renounce my disciples. I'm telling you. And before I do that, I say, I'm going to renounce you. Let me give you a warning. Plan ahead. Let's plan ahead. Okay? I'm going to offer this to this good no advisor that I found somewhere in Kamchatka. Okay? He doesn't even speak English. Okay? I don't know if he's going to take the Way Mountain or not. I don't care. But I'm going to offer it to him. Okay? I'm going there to learn from him. No excuses. No visa, whatever. I don't care. Okay? And if you like, you should go and take refuge with him. That's much better for you. I've been looking the last 15 years since I was told by my Chinese master to start teaching. That's my teaching to you. Okay? That's part of my teaching, is that I'm looking for a good advisor. And if I find one, I would not hesitate to refer you to him, and I'm out of here. That's part of my teaching. Because why would I want to waste your time learning from an idiot like me? Because if you learn it from him or from her, there'll be today when it's going to be a her. Just kidding, you girls. But if it's it would be, if we can find such a teacher, that's incredible. That's what Mahayana is about. You want to learn, you learn from the greatest teacher you can find. As long as you still have to learn, okay, keep looking. Don't stop. Don't say because that's why you will never hear me saying, even no matter how famous and how big I'm going to become, which is daydreaming, would be nice. After all these hard years. But, it doesn't matter. Because it's the same thing, unless you become a Buddha. Until you become a Buddha, look for a good no advisor. It's the best use of your time. And I would never stop you from saying, hey, I heard of this good one here. I'd like to go. I said, go. Okay, I will never stop you. Never, ever. I'll be like Sheng Xiu sending Chu Chang over. You go and learn and tell me everything you learn. Because I'm too busy taking care of my temples and my disciples. Okay, does it help? Okay, very good. Thank you. We stop here. So tomorrow, is there anything left here? Oh, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Okay.
好，明天再讲。